Where are they moving you, or where are they holding you back? What are you going to do inside of those areas that's going to help you step forwards to achieve the goal? Because as James Clear says, we don't rise to the goal, we fall to our systems. There's two primary ways that we potentially achieve bigger goals: the way we think and the way we act. The things that we do in action. This kind of platform, I'm here to help you expand the way you think, because what I do in the background with Impact Health Club is the way that I teach you to implement the actions. I've got two quotes for you today that I'd like you to take away and consider, but before you do that, let's just expand on them a fraction. Here's the first one. Comparison is the thief of joy. Theodore Roosevelt. Just going to dive into this one just slightly for you, because one of the things I think that we do as people, as individuals, is we're quite quick to pick up a phone to distract ourselves from what's currently going on in day-to-day life. But what we don't do very well is observe where we are, and we tend to look at where everybody else is in life. And then that comparison makes us judge, makes us feel a certain way about what we've achieved in our lives and where we currently are. We start to look at those things, and this gets harder the older you get too, especially if you're in quite a public space or if you're quite front-facing too. Maybe you're in an industry where there's a lot of people that look to you for guidance, leadership, answers. It can be quite frustrating. It can be you can lose yourself in the process, because looking around at what everybody else is doing and comparing yourself to what's going on in their world, where you currently are is the decisions that you've made to try and get to a point where you feel like you're moving forwards. But you can stand there, pick up a phone, and within 3 to 7 seconds, you're on somebody else's highlight reel of their life, comparing yours to theirs. This comparison steals you of every single thing that you've worked for, that you've built a life of right now. And you're all of a sudden feeling lost, in disbelief that you're not supposed to be where you currently are. You're supposed to be further down the line, or you're robbing yourself of the enjoyment of the things that you have created success in because you're offsetting it against what somebody else is deeming as successful. I did hear something from somebody else the other day, and I'm just going to kind of bolt onto the back of this, is the happiest person, the person that wins, the person that is the richest person in the room, is the one that arrives at happiness first. You could be a CEO of a company, turning over millions, billions. You might be financially driven, but you could walk through the door of home every single day, miserable, neglected, in a loveless relationship, have children that don't recognize their parent when they come through the door because you're a stranger in the night, you're passing by all the time. What drives you is that motivation of money, but you're forever chasing that goal. The richest person in the room is the person that arrives at happiness first. One of your employees, say you are an employer, they are maybe the happiest person in the room because they get enough from work to say that it's enough. They get enough from their cohort of friends, their colleagues around them, to say that they're social enough. They get enough from that interaction-wise. They walk through their door at home every evening to a smile, to love, to connection, to a family. They are happy, and they arrived there sooner than you did. The person that wins is the person that's the happiest. It's the one that arrives at happiness first. So what is happiness to you? And this is why I think comparison can steal, it is the thief. It is the thief of joy. Because what do you feel at the end of the day when you walk through that door and say to yourself, well, today just wasn't the day. Today, is there anything good outside of the world that you're living that feels like it's driving you forwards? Because I for a very long time had a mental block. I won't say an issue, but a mental block around how is it that people can get to their early 40s, early 50s and say, that's it, I'm done, I'm good. I just need to maintain this and I'm there. And they have the biggest smile on their face, and that smile stays continuous. But you could be the person that's still chasing the goal. forever picking up the phone, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through social media platforms, looking at other people's lives in comparison and chasing bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. And you could be forever feeling like you were second best to an entire world of people that are chasing similar goals. Do you actually enjoy the process? Do you wake up wanting to feel like you've arrived? Chances are you probably don't. So be mindful that comparison can be the thief of joy, and you're probably robbing yourself of things that you've achieved in your life right now. They might not be at the very pinnacle of where you want to be, but I can guarantee you now, there are things that's happened throughout your life that you are not taking stock of that maybe you should do. Maybe there are people around you that stand by you and listen to you and understand and support you. That's a big win. There's people out there are chasing goals that don't get that. Maybe you do have the family that other people would dream of having. That's something to be proud of every single day. That's something to take joy in every single day of having. So don't be too quick to judge yourself on where you're at, because you're robbing yourselves of moments that are meaningful right now. And that's the first one. Theodore Roosevelt, thank you very much. Comparison is the thief of joy. James Clear, somebody that, if you haven't read his book, I massively encourage you to do so. Just go and look up James Clear. But the quote is, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This one could not be any more true in the sense of personal development, in the sense of progressing, in the sense of achieving. Because you don't set the goal and rise to it. You operate at the level that you're currently at. You've installed habits that are second nature, subconscious. You do them without even thinking. These habits, these systems that you've created, these are the things day to day that you live with that makes you feel like you're in some kind of momentum moving forwards. Or maybe the goal's slightly bigger than the system that you've created. That system right now is either going to keep you where you are. If you take a step forwards, it could crumble. It might not support the goal. Or it could drive you further forward if you know the system to upgrade. The thing that you have to be mindful of when you're looking at upgrading, leveling up, is you have to upgrade the systems that support you as you move forwards and not just strive for the goal that's bigger, that's greater. Because there's a lot more inside of it. There's a lot more to unpack. There's a lot more to figure out. If you were to look at your day-to-day life right now and say to yourself, the things that I'm doing right now, if on repeat, will they get me to where I want to be? If your current goal is to sustain what you've created in life right now, awesome work. Keep doing that. You've created a system that sustains the outcome that you are very happy to live out. Perfect. If you've got goals that are outside of what you're currently doing, you need to analyze, you need to take stock of that system right now. You need to take stock of what you're doing with your day-to-day life. How are you operating? How are you thinking? How are you taking actions? These are the systems that you build to action the outcome of the goal that you're looking to create. So let's reverse engineer this process. What does it look like? What does the goal mean to you? And you have to have a good enough reason to want to change a perfectly working system and have it stick long term. Because that system's going to need a little bit more resilience than what the previous one, what the current one might have. So think about this. You want to achieve a bigger goal. Let's reverse engineer that process. What do I need to change in me? What do I need to change about my environment? What do I need to change about my knowledge, my understanding, information, people, relationships? Look at what's going on in your world right now. There's going to be certain things that will help you move forwards. There's going to be certain people that will help you move forwards. But if you keep doing, and this is another one that ties into if you keep doing what you keep doing, you'll get what you've always got. Well, it's going to be true. If you keep doing what you're currently doing, the goal will not be achieved. So what do you need to reverse engineer to plug the gap? That gap is going to leave you clues. It's breadcrumbs along the way that tells you exactly what it is that I need to be doing to unlock the next process, unlock the next step. When you do realize what the reverse engineer process of this looks like, you now have an action plan. What I'd like to leave you with is just a thought about this action plan. Is if you've got a goal that you're looking to achieve, you're taking action right now, and those actions they're good, but are they moving you in the direction that you want to move in? If they are, awesome. I don't have to say anymore. But if they're not, which is likely, there's a miscommunication between where you're at right now and where you want to be. And my encouragement for you, my vast experience that I'm about to share is don't always look at the goal as the end goal. It's the next step, because I can guarantee you now you'll achieve it and you'll want to unlock something even greater, even more, especially if you're a forward-thinking kind of person. You would definitely want to look at what is next. What could I do with what I've got to achieve the next level? There will come a point where there will be an offset mentally, and you'll offset what you've done, where you are, the fulfillment that it gives you, and then what's left in life to look at. If we want to reverse engineer how we get to this goal, we have to have a solid foundation of an action plan that you can fall back on at any time you feel like maybe progress is plateauing or stumbling. If you know what these action steps are and you're not executing on them, chances are you're not going to get to that goal. But you know full well that those action steps need to be executed for you to achieve what it is that you're asking of whatever out there in the universe that you may be asking for. You are asking for this goal to be present right now. Don't just ask. If your systems are letting you down to get to where you want to go, the goal doesn't mean enough to you. So you don't rise to the goal, you fall to the system. And those systems are the things that you fall back on as a foundation of the building blocks that's going to help you move forwards. So if you could say to yourself right now, how's my health? Am I doing enough to support myself to move forwards with the goal that I want to be able to achieve? If it's going to take more from you physically, mentally, emotionally, you need to be able to do some work on yourself or with a team of people, however you choose fit. You need to do some work for yourself that's going to allow you to expand to create the capacity to be able to achieve this goal. Then you need to look at where's your position in your career stroke, your business stroke, your professional life. What do I need to do in this environment to help me move forward to achieve the goal? What is the goal? What is that goal? Is it financial freedom? Is it a sense of freedom? Is it freedom in location? Is it companionship? What is the goal that you're looking to achieve? You can do this for any goal that you've got. You break them down and reverse engineer them. But look at those goals. Look at that environment that you've got yourself currently set up in. What do I need to do to move the needle forwards in my professional environment? And then I would say, look at your relationships. Who around you is helping support you? Whether it is just a conversation, whether it is just hearing you out, maybe it's a soundboard, maybe it's a partner, a good friend, a relative. Look at the people that you've got that surround you, that support you to move you forwards. And then the ruthless part is take note of the people around you that don't. Because if they're the people that surround you the most, maybe it's time you possibly look at finding some new people that support the goal of you moving forwards. Because they're likely to anchor you back where you don't want to be and you want to move on and they don't want you to. So there are 3 key areas. Take your health, take your professional career, take your relationships. Where are they moving you or where are they holding you back? What are you going to do inside of those areas that's going to help you step forwards to achieve the goal? Because as James Clear says, we don't rise to the goal, we fall to our systems. I hope you've taken something useful away from this one, because sharing this level of understanding on this kind of platform is why I'm enjoying being back in the podcasting scene. So until next week, take care. I'll speak to you soon.